When talking about 3D and Nintendo, there's only one console I could even think about. It's this one. The new Virtual Boy coming out just last week, actually, on February 17th. Only with the Nintendo Online subscription, because everything fun has to be locked behind that. I still do find this really cool. I would actually be really surprised if you actually used a original Virtual Boy that released back in 1995. Nintendo wanted this, well, the old one, to be the first 3D console.
Okay, who's actually paying for this? Wait.
Stereoscopic 3D, where if you don't know it, you overlay two images and then it gives that illusion of depth. So it looks like you're seeing 3D, but it's actually just a 2D image. The 3DS actually does this really well back in the era of 3D with 3D TVs, plasma TVs, 3D TVs. You probably can't tell on camera, but the 3D on this thing actually worked pretty well. Or at least the little tech demo in the settings was really good. It always impressed me as a kid. I always watched it just to see the 3D effect. It popping in and out. The idea of 3D really didn't pop off back in the 90s, where the Virtual Boy only sold 770,000 units, being one of Nintendo's worst selling consoles of all time. Migraines, eye strains, headaches. Nintendo didn't do very well for this. So for them, 30 years later, to re-release it again, basically in the same state as it was, just no controller. This isn't even a console. You just put the Switch 2 in, and then it just plays the Virtual Boy games that are on the Switch Online Expansion Pass Plus. So you would need to pay $45 a month. You can still play the games on there. There's no reason you need to get this. It says required. That's just trying to make you buy either the cheap cardboard one that's like 30 bucks or this one. I'm not very good with my money, so I hope I feel like this is worth it. I haven't opened it yet, so I figured I'd do that on video. And so I guess I'll start. Has that new factory smell still, which I like. Well, actually, first tells you kind of turn on the console and start the Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics. Open the stand and adjust the angle. So that's all you need to do. Let me get it like that. Okay. All right. So here's the actual Virtual Boy itself. Gotta say, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. It feels pretty nice actually. Does this actually focus? I guess they don't actually move. And you can kind of see inside. It's already dusty. I didn't even do anything. Plastic. All right. Here's the legs. So if you haven't seen a Virtual Boy, there's the stand that it goes on. I do want an actual Virtual Boy, but they're like $450, I think, last I checked, like 2 years ago. That's not even including any games. I would like one just to have one, but we'll see. Little health and safety manual. I don't give motion stick very often, but only in like VR games where I lose control of my character. That's like the only thing that really makes me sick. Out of the way. So it has a before you play. Let's see. Okay, so now I can set it in there. But I thought you could play the games without having to set it in here, so you can play like games on the TV in black and white and stuff like that. I guess not. All right, so let's see how this works. So now how do I get my Switch in there? You can even see like the fake buttons that they put on here. So there's the volume, headphone jack, controller, and then EXT. I don't remember what that is actually. You can let me know in the comments below, I guess. And be sure to like and Hi, this is editing me. I did this completely wrong. You'll see later, but you don't need to unscrew the base unless you want to use your Nintendo Switch 1. I didn't realize that, so I didn't realize I had to get my Phillips up, unscrew the bottom part to put the console in. Fits in there snug. I guess let me see if it works first. Huh, actually, that's pretty cool, actually. You can kind of see it, through there. Actually, that looks really nice, actually. It does kind of suck, though, that every time I want to use this, I am going to have to screw and unscrew it back in. All right, so now last step is to... Oh, so that changes the adjustment. Okay, so let me see here. Huh? Oh, I see. So I did it the hard way. Okay, so this just pops open. It did not show that on the instructions. Or maybe I'm just stupid. So then I can just slide the Switch out. Okay, I see. That's not bad. Okay, never mind. False alarm, never mind. Don't say I'm good with technology. Let me give it a try first. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. Probably because I never experienced it before. I mean, it is just a red screen So you can see kind of a Tetris through the screen. I already feel motion sick, and I haven't even really used it. Oh, there's Tetris. I heard this version of Tetris is actually really good because it's like you build on a 3D block. So it's like 3D Tetris instead of just 2D. So you can build like long ways across the bottom. And you can see me trying to place the blocks. I do got to say that I wouldn't say surprised, but I like it. I pulled this out at like a birthday party. I'll have all eyes on me. Everyone will, want to have a try, I'll be the cool kid finally. They have your standard games on here. Well, at least the ones that came with the console. So the games we have on here is Tetris, Galactic Pinball, Golf. I got the Mansion of Ismouth, Red Alarm, Teleroy Boxer, and Wario Land. Which I heard the Wario Land game is actually really good on Virtual Boy. The only game I'm really disappointed that they didn't have, at least with the initial launch of Virtual Boy games on here, is Jack Brothers. That game is like really good from what I've heard, and I thought that game would have been on here. But the only problem is it is an Atlas game, so they would have to go to Atlas. So my thoughts? I like the little novelty. It definitely, some parts of it feel kind of nice. Like the headrest feels nice. I couldn't see myself playing this as like a VR headset. That definitely would make me very sick, actually. And I got a little motion sick just from going through the menus and seeing some of the flashing colors of Tetris. But I do have to say, if you do like the little novelty, $100, not too bad. I think it's fair, to say the least. I definitely wouldn't spend like $200 or any more than that if this ever jumps up in price for whatever reason. But all you're basically paying for is just red screens. So this is what the Virtual Boy is seeing, just two little screens on the big screen. Especially now that I know that actually I could just slide it in there and not have to unscrew the bottom, then it makes it a little better, actually. I do like that. So that was my initial thoughts of the Virtual Boy, or at least the new Virtual Boy, where all it is just a stand with a giant headset attached to it. I would say it's worth it if you are a collector and you're like, oh, I always wanted the Virtual Boy and it was just too expensive. So this is your alternative if you wanted to have that nostalgic feel to it. I know some people don't even know like classic old consoles. I mean, not everybody's into retro games like I am. So pulling this out and being like, oh, this was originally released in 95 and it sucked. And here it is again. And it still kind of sucks. So yeah, have you guys thought about buying this yourself actually? Do you think it's... Oops. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think it's the revolutionary 3D console that everybody's looking for? Or is it better than this? No. But yeah, that's all I had. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I really, really appreciate if you guys stuck around and give me some more ideas of what to talk about because I'm not really sure what people are wanting to see. So yeah, see you guys.